Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum collective reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different. This may not be your reading at this time. This reading's originally created for Friday the 27th of January, but it's not solely set for that date. I believe readings can find us when we need them. So if you're seeing this on a different date and it still makes sense, by all means, utilize it. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there, it gives you information about the channel, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using, how to follow me on social media. If you want to contact me for a private reading, know that I won't contact you or solicit you for a reading, and also easy ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content, subscribing to the channel, leaving me a question or comment, or sharing the video out. I will be referring to the Sunday underpinning reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner. That is the underpinning energy of the week. So those cards are at play in the background. You may want to check that out if you hear me talking about cards that you don't see in this reading. So let's see what they want us to know today. What does Spirit want us to know for the 27th? I've had a lot of major arcana this week. Let's see what's going on. Who do we have today? Another major arcana. It's Justice. Libran energy, air energy, the swords, a pillar card. I'm not mad at her, actually. I'm glad she's here. Like, the scales are being rebalanced. You know, we saw earlier in the week in the underpinning energy, we saw the devil show up like, I don't know, 3 times this week. And remember in the Sunday reading, I told you that that 3 of Cups meant that things would be restored by the end of the week. And this is the Friday reading, so we should be hitting that 3 of Cups, which is that sort of celebratory, communal energy, an energy of appreciation or emotional, well-being, right? And oftentimes I associate 3 cards with the mind, body, spirit coming into balance, especially around the 3 of Cups, because it represents the emotional body. So when our emotions are good, usually our mind, body, spirit is well connected and working in rhythm. So we could find ourselves feeling a little bit more self-assured, a little bit more mentally clear today. I mean, not even a little bit, I would say a lot bit more mentally clear on what is right for us, what it is that we need. Yesterday's card of the Lovers was representing that choice that needed to be made. And the Lovers is also Gemini energy, which is air sign energy, but it's oftentimes associated with love or feelings, right? Because it is the Lovers card, and it's an important choice that takes place. What this card indicates to me is that whatever choice it was that we felt we needed to make, if we made it, we're coming back into alignment or a balance, a clarity, a wisdom. The scales are being set back into proper position or into equilibrium, so to speak. Now, this could take place today instantaneously for some of you, and for some of you, I get this feeling that it could be over time, but you're feeling the effects of it by Justice being present. You're aware that the scales are being balanced, that things are, I don't want to say getting back to normal, but they're definitely not feeling as plagued as they were when we were seeing things like the 10 of Swords and the Devil in the early part of the week, right? Whatever it is that we've made our decision around, whatever it is we've kind of chosen for ourselves, I think is bringing about this truth, this honesty maybe within us, that brings us back into balance, that strengthens us mentally, that strengthens our communication, our ability to communicate what it is we need, how it is we need it. And quite honestly, if it can't be supplied by a situation, person, or thing that has not been meeting us where we're at, then we're okay. We can not necessarily move on, but we don't necessarily need it in the same way that we might have earlier in the week, because the devil would indicate like a codependence or an obsession with something, a feeling trapped or stuck. Justice is like, no, the truth has been revealed now. The scales have been balanced, and we're stronger because of it, right? We're smarter because of it. We're wiser because of it. So we're using that wisdom, and this white dress is kind of attracting my attention too, because it's like the purity of the white dress, and the clouds kind of clearing, meaning like some of us, we might be coming into this justice or this awareness today and allowing it to take hold, allowing it to create clarity for us and clear away the clouds or the delusion or the fantasies, dreams, obsessions, or whatever it was that we were battling against. Justice is coming in and waving her sword and clearing that away. So give it time, right? Be patient with yourself is kind of the feeling that I'm getting too. Sometimes justice can be a card that requires patience and faith that the truth will come out, or the truth shall set you free. You know, it's those kind of statements that I associate with this card. I also love the color of this card, this lavendery pink color. It makes me think of the heart chakra. So, and there's been a lot of focus in the grounding stones this week around the heart chakra. And so we might be finding a balance in there too with a, what's the word I'm looking for? With a mental truth that we've become aware of, or that we've chosen, that brings us back into alignment with ourselves, within our mind and our heart. Let's look at the Absolute Affirmations card. Excuse me. So it is, I am dope. I like it. And I'm going to just show you guys the second one, because every time I pull one up, I see the next one. It's, my intuition is the perfect guide, and it's like a GPS. Justice will be our GPS today, right? Listening to our heart, the pink background, the truth of what we know to be true for ourselves. What leads us to balance is really what is our truth and should be our perfect guide, and we should intuitively be able to follow that. Let me read I am dope to you. You are a unique individual, and your originality makes you extremely dope. You have a purpose and a path that is vital and tailored specifically for you. Remember to recognize yourself as special and wear this confidence proudly. I think that with justice here, and I also kind of like the pink and the sort of, what would this be, like a magenta maybe? I don't know, it's kind of like a plum color, but they kind of go along with one another in a sense, right? It's almost like a deepening of that heart chakra pink into a realization of the truth of our own individuality and how special we are and how precious we are and how we should hold that preciousness with kind of like a clarity and a truth, and let that lead today. Let's look at the clarifiers. First, we have the Eight of Swords. This oftentimes indicates being stuck in the mind, right? But what she doesn't realize, because she's blindfolded, is she's trapped in her own thoughts, and all she has to do is take a few steps forward to realize she's actually free of the situation. With justice here, this could be some of those clouds clearing, right? We might still feel a little stuck, or we might still feel a little restrained. We may be still feeling some of the influence of that Ten of Swords that underpin the midweek, right? But it's decreasing, and we're slowly gaining our mental freedom. Some of you might be quickly. I would turn more towards the idea of justice and the strength of justice, the truth of the matter, the truth of who you are and what you mean in your world, and allow that to free you from any last minute misgivings, worries, or fears that you might be making a wrong decision or following the wrong path. That's not the case here with justice being present. The next card is the Page of Wands. So this would be about following new paths, being excited about new adventures, new opportunities. Wands being that element of fire, it feeds these swords cards. Justice and the Eight of Swords would feed the Page of Wands' inquisitiveness, his desire for something new, for something opportune, to learn, to get excited again, to feel reinvigorated. The pages oftentimes bring new messages or new news to us, so there could be a new inspiration that comes to us today through the truth of this Justice card that lights up a new path for us that we're ready to move forward towards. Whatever the Eight of Swords represents, whatever's holding us back or we might feel like restricted by, we're ready to let it go with this Page of Wands here. And we understand that, is my feeling. We understand that we're ready for a new adventure, that we're ready for a new opportunity. We're willing to sort of leave the heaviness in the past, if that makes sense. And wherever we've been like holding ourselves back mentally or communicating in ways that limit us, it's time to kind of let that go. And then the last card is the King of Wands. So a lot of fire. We have 2 fire, 2 air. They are complementary to one another. They feed off of one another, you know. You need fire burns air, basically, essentially, and air feeds fire. So this could be a rather dynamic day. It's interesting to me because it looks like the king is whispering to that page. And I feel like that page may be some of us, because remember, underpinning this in the subconscious at the Sunday reading was the Page of Swords. And she's like the private investigator of the deck, right? She's always looking for that bit of new information that kind of transforms the situation or her awareness or her intelligence so that she can find new pathways or new ideas to learn. All of the pages are willing to learn. And I feel like the King of Wands here is almost like our higher spirit self whispering to this page, which might be like more our 3D self, saying to them, okay, so this is the plan, this is what you want to do, this is the desire. And the page is like, oh yeah, really? Okay, that sounds great. So, and I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but if you have a conversation going on in your mind today about what inspires you at a very deep level, listen to that conversation, be open to it, be like the Page of Wands, be willing to kind of listen to that higher spiritual self. That might sound a bit impulsive because the Wands cards can be like direct, quick acting, impulsive at times. They represent the fire signs, right? Aries, Leo, and Sag, but they also can kind of give us the strength or the fearlessness to take action. Sometimes prior to thinking, but sometimes that's a good thing, right? And that very action can move us away from wherever we've been feeling stuck. And so if we find ourselves, like I'm going to go back to this conversation that I feel like is happening between this king and this page, because it feels very friendly. And it's funny because underpinning this is the 3 of Cups, which is oftentimes a card of community celebration, coming together. It can be about, you know, communicating from a more heartfelt or emotional place, from a place of love. It feels like this king really loves this page as I'm looking at this, and he wants to see this page go forth and prosper in a way, and he's giving him his wisdom. So I feel like today we might, because fire, the wand sign is fire, which represents the spirit, I feel like we could be having a conversation with our higher self today, if we're willing to pay attention to that, and follow that guidance, and be, I don't want to say be impulsive, but trust that guidance more so than say you normally might, is my feeling. That also might be the little bit of the restriction of the 8 of Wands there. Could be our ego or our mind going, oh my God, is this safe? Should I be listening to this voice inside of me? This voice says go after that. That's the thing I desire, but I don't know if I can make that happen. You know, it's that kind of a thing. And I think that with the I am dope card and justice here, we deserve everything that we desire. We at least deserve the attempt at it. And some of us seeing the devil throughout this whole week, and we saw the magician a lot this week too, which is also about creation, you know, going after that desire also, is we at least deserve the attempt. You know, instead of getting caught up in whether or not we achieve it, we need to be brave enough, and I don't know if compelled enough is the right word, but we need to believe in ourselves enough that we're worthy of at least trying, is my feeling today. And so go after that try. Listen to that voice inside of you. Let's look at the grounding stone and see. I'll also say this too. The wands can be about passion. you know, and I'm not talking about romantic passion, I'm talking more about like our own drive, what we're passionate about. And so there's a truth in that passion too, and allow that to also kind of back this up or drive this truth today of justice. These two, the wands and the swords, they feed off of each other, like I said. So this is I feel like a rather dynamic day to find our truth and then actually maybe start to begin to take steps towards achieving it. But we have to listen to our higher self as we go. Okay, and interesting. Very interesting. So back to the grounding stones being all about the heart chakra lately. And this is on a deep green, aventurine, which also associates with the heart. It's the depth, to me, of the touchstone that is underpinning this, which is on malachite, which is also the heart. The word, I don't know that you can see it very well, is namaste. And what that is the God in me honors the God in you. It's a greeting that is used, I believe, I'm not sure in what culture, it might be Tibetan, I'm not sure, but it is a greeting that means the God in you honors the God in me. And it's interesting to me because the I am dope card is kind of like a more current way of saying namaste. It's honoring the God in ourselves, the truth of that. And then it's this conversation that I feel like is happening between this page and this king, and also the conversations that come with the Three of Cups that underpins this, is about honoring our connections, not only to ourselves, but to others. And doing so from a very truly deep, heartfelt space. That's the deep green aventurine of this. So grounding in that gratitude and that honor for not only ourselves, but for others today is going to be key as we make this transition into this truth. That is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me a question or comment and share the video out. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.